Various mainstream news outlets have been reporting on the potential for a magnetic pole shift here on Earth. Scientists have estimated the shift could happen at any point in the next 200 years. Put simply, a pole shift would entail north becoming south and south becoming north. As a result of the pole shift, a compass needle aligned to north would now point in the direction of Antarctica. The effects aren't only geographic. Across the world, culturally, the very definition of being a southerner or a northerner would flip. But this side effect is relatively benign in comparison to its potential devastating impact on humanity's modern-day infrastructure. The last 20 million years, the poles have flipped roughly every 200,000 years, and so far, life on Earth has always survived these transitions. The difference now is that an imminent pole shift threatens our current civilization's absolute dependency on technology. The main concern is that huge areas of the world's electrical grid system, satellites, and other technology could be left inoperable. Huge swathes of land could remain in darkness for years as systems are rebuilt. Sounds huge. It could be. But then again, maybe not in our lifetime. This wouldn't be a reconsider video without a sprinkle of weirdness, left-field thought, and contemplation. Can we join the dots over strange earthly anomalies prevalent across the world, such as increasing levels of mass animal deaths, instances of mysterious loud booms, intense meteor sightings, and even vanishing seas as side effects, a precursor to an up-and-coming shift? But more esoterically, what are the effects spiritually, evolutionary, not just to humans but to all life on Earth? Some researchers claim this feeds into theories surrounding human activation of DNA and the overall spiritual ascension of humanity. Pole shift mechanics. Taking a more forensic view concerning the detailed mechanics of a pole shift, the Earth in many ways acts as a magnet. The dipole is the electrical separation between positive and negative charges. At the core, molten iron acts as the Earth's dipole. The magnetic field of Earth radiates 63.7 million meters outwardly into space. Currently within the central core of the Earth, an intense battle is raging, with clusters of molten iron and nickel gathering strength, draining energy from the dipole. At a certain point, the dipole will be under so much stress, eventually the poles will simply just flip. Previously, scientists have been able to record historical pole shifts, studying sedimentary deposits and cooled volcanic lava flows. The ferromagnetic minerals are frozen and suspended in a particular direction, and so provide scientists with a reliable record of when the shifts occurred. Over the last 50 years, the North Pole has moved considerably. The latest data gathered from the European Space Agency shows that the North Pole is in a turbulent and unpredictable state. The Earth's magnetic field is decreasing 10 times faster than normal. The magnetic field acts as a shield against radiation from space, but more notably from our own sun. Alana Mitchell, who wrote the book The Spinning Magnet, states, "The dangers devastating streams of particles from the sun, galactic cosmic rays, and enhanced ultraviolet B rays from a radiation-damaged ozone layer, to name just a few of the invisible forces that could harm or kill living creatures." Magnetic field negative effects. There is strong research exploring links between magnetic fields and the effect on sentient brains. The experiments suggest that exposure to variable magnetic field intensities causes impaired judgment and even psychotic behavior, paranoia, and heightened bouts of rage. Mass animal deaths. Is it possible the increased solar activity and dramatically reduced radiation shield protection is helping to ramp up instances of mass animal deaths? One example recently occurred in Draper, Utah, USA. 200 birds randomly fell from the sky and died, with no logical explanation for their demise. Mass animal deaths appear to be on the rise year on year. It's well known the Earth's magnetic field is essential for the well-being of life, but further acts as a vital invisible force assisting animals in navigation. A university in Frankfurt, Germany discovered that birds sense the magnetic field in their beaks, while their eyes provide directional information from the field. It's also known this powerful invisible force is vital to the migration of fish. So based on this, is the magnetic field becoming harder for them to detect due to the weakened nature? Could this possibly be causing harm and maybe even death to animals? Disappearing seas. Santillana, Ecuador, the sea overnight completely vanished from the harbour, leaving the seabed unusually exposed with boats stranded on a black layer of sand, well away from the new waterline. Usually disappearing seas indicate an incoming tsunami, but this was ruled out by authorities. This natural phenomenon has been witnessed in other regions such as Brazil, Bahamas, and even Mexico. There is no official data on this, but are instances of vanishing seas on the rise. NASA has stated that seawater is a powerful electrical conductor and therefore directly interacts with the magnetic field. The tides are very much linked to the gravitational force of the moon and sun, so with speculation, with the reduced protection from the Earth's magnetic field, is the influence of the moon and sun's gravitational force greater in certain instances, and with speculation possibly explains the strange extreme tidal ranges that contribute to seas disappearing from coastal areas. Mysterious booms. Other weird anomalies that may be connected to the decreasing magnetic field concern strange aerial loud booms that have been heard globally. In 2017 alone, between 60 to 70 loud booms have been recorded in places such as Michigan, Lapland, St Ives, Swansea, and Yorkshire. Scientists are at a loss to explain the phenomenon. Mainstream theories view the source as being from potential aircraft, earthquakes, and even meteorite activity. Covertly, some have suggested these loud bangs are the result of continuing expansion and construction of deep underground military bases, or DOMs for short. People considered the noise as the result of underground excavation, utilising undisclosed secret nuclear boring machines capable of creating 7 miles of tunnels in only one day. It's difficult to find correlation with this theory, purely due to the lack of seismic evidence that links the booms to underground man-made or even natural seismic events. There could be evidence for this from our very own moon. Loud booms have been recorded via 2 probes launched by NASA for the Artemis program. Scientists have decided these noises were the result of solar wind colliding with the moon's extremely weak magnetic field. The moon's field is currently 1% of the strength of Earth's. So if the Earth's magnetic field is decreasing, is it now at a level whereby the same natural effect is occurring on Earth? Looking to the covert world, an alleged former US government contracted geologist turned whistleblower disclosed to Linda Moulton Howe that magnetic changes are due to the Earth's turbulent core, but stated the sounds have been generated in the mantle as large static charges of energy pushed up through the Earth's crust is broadcasting as infrared sound through the ionosphere and then bouncing back at a lower frequency that we can hear and feel as vibrations. Whatever the source for these mysterious booms, it does appear the magnetic field could well be the culprit. DNA activation and ascension. Looking at this natural phenomenon from an esoteric spiritual point of view, some researchers and commentators have found a profound link between the sun's energy and human evolution. The theory goes that some feel there are errors in Darwin's evolutionary theories, with little evidence found through fossilized remains detailing humanity's gradual development. Key links seem to be missing. It's documented both animals and humans on occasions have had seemingly huge jumps in evolution, consciousness, and sophistication over a very short space of time. This is exemplified by simple shellfish consisting of an external skeleton, transitioning into complex bony fish with an internal skeleton, but there is a lack of fossilized evidence to track the animal's slow development. This evolutionary supercharged upgrade have specifically been linked to the power of the sun, solar flares, coronal mass ejections in activating and upgrading living DNA. These effects may be even more potent with a weakened magnetic field. For humans, it's proposed after a previous solar event, our brains grew in size, language developed, and people started utilizing rudimentary tools. There is evidence to back this up, as detailed in David Wilcock's book, Sourcefield Investigations. Wilcock described how scientists from the Arizona State University discovered that Salmonella bacteria flown in NASA's space shuttle Atlantis grew 300% stronger after being exposed to heightened space energy and radiation. The Chinese further were able to grow massive fruits and vegetables by simply flying the seeds through space first. Wilcock also revealed that anthropologist Dr. John Hawkes stated human evolution is moving 100 times faster than it was 5,000 years ago, with 7% of our genetic material having transformed during this time. This rate appears to be continually accelerating. This whole process has been linked to the idea of ascension, which feeds into the theory of reincarnation, with beings existing in different densities depending on the sophistication of an entity's consciousness. Beings that inhabit higher levels of densities are purported to be transdimensional in nature, so they are able to traverse space and time with ease. We realise to some of you this information could sound ridiculous, but if this information is correct, then hopefully the direction of humanity is headed in. We can look forward to an interstellar and maybe transdimensional existence led by a more mature, loving consciousness, rather than a destructive, overly competitive way of living. Humanity's transition from third to fourth density is long overdue, and according to some insiders, may happen any time between now and 2023, and has been prophesied in many different religions and ancient texts. So is the rapidly weakened magnetic field preparation for what many are calling the event, a defining moment for our reality, a spiritual and consciousness renaissance? Delving even deeper into the covert world, alleged secret space program insider Corey Goode has claimed that an impending pole shift and solar event will assist to clear negative influence on Earth. Artificial intelligence is widely being spoken about in the mainstream, but there is little knowledge concerning alleged extraterrestrial AI that has negatively taken hold of humanity on Earth. Some feel a pole shift could have a cleansing effect. A solar event would help to clear and eliminate the negative AI signal. Conclusion. It does appear much environmental strangeness can be directly related to the rapidly decreasing magnetic field. The fact a pole shift could happen at any time is rather unnerving. The lasting effects of such a dramatic event are confused depending on who you listen to. The side effects swerve from being an all-out Armageddon on humanity, wildlife and the entire biosphere, through to a glorious spiritual ascension towards a more positive future. The fact pole shifts have been endured by Earth many times before should bring us all comfort. But if this is the final piece to freeing humanity from its matrix-like prison, it's hard not to welcome such a tantalising prospect. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Reconsider. Please like, subscribe, and maybe even donate to Patreon or PayPal, so we can keep bringing you these reports. Thank you.